Hello, my name is Joanna Mark, and today I'm going to talk to you about vendor management, being the road to company success. Every aspect of our economy is going through business transformation, and our company needs to stay ahead of the curve to ensure that it is competitive through innovation, improvement, and ensuring that technology is being implemented quickly. There's no time to waste, and we want to ensure we're staying ahead of the game. Vendor management can help us do that. The time to act is now. As CEO of Box, Aaron Levien said, the last 10 years of IT have been about changing the way people work. He did get the second part wrong, though, saying the next 10 years of IT will be about transforming your business. IT operates at a much better and faster speed than it used to. The last 10 years are actually equivalent to the next 2. We have no time to waste and need to start acting now. Now, how can vendor management help impact our business? By ensuring that there is no insufficient spend on vendors that are not meeting the requirements, making sure that the services offered are optimal, and mitigating risk. All that will ensure our company's growth and success. By capturing value instead of lowest cost, we're making sure that quality is being met and reducing the risk of additional strain on our resources. By following regulatory and business standard practices, we're going to pass our audits, and with that also mitigate risk, such as strategic compliance, reputational, and security. Through regular vendor reviews, we're going to make sure that they are operating at the optimal level. How does vendor management do all that? It's through partnering with our vendors, making sure that our communication is a two-way street, which means sharing information, looking at performance reviews, sharing ideas, and even letting the vendors know what our strategic goals are so that they can be implemented together, especially when it comes to change management. What is vendor management and how will it work? We're first starting with establishing a process where the policies and rules are outlined, and that's what we're doing today. We then make sure we negotiate and evaluate our vendors prior to signing a contract with them to arrive at the proper relationship and ensure the risks are mitigated as much as possible. Once onboarded, there are monthly reviews and quarterly business reviews to metrics and dashboards to ensure all that is being met and the vendor is performing at the most optimal levels. And if they're not, we review where they fall short, assess, and then improve. We're looking for an opportunity to bring this process in a lean way and make sure it's established across the organization quickly. So what is the right approach here? How can we do that? Well, the late Steve Jobs said, "Great things in business are never done by one person. They're done by a team of people." We've already collaborated across the risk, compliance, operations, and finance departments to put together a process that can be understood and easily followed. The goals of our process are to make sure vendors are assessed properly and that the due diligence process is completed prior to contract signing. We also want to make sure there's a clear path and destination of where to submit requests. The benefits of this new vendor onboarding process will be that we will streamline and standardize what is required from every department and make sure it's easy to follow. We're going to bring departments together in a collaborative way and look for a vendor management tool to bring us into the digital environment. We'll be also able to track due diligence checks and make sure they are completed. What does the process look like? Well, high level, there will be a request submitted for either a new vendor, new service, or a renewal of service. We will review that request, and if decided to move forward to contracting, there will be a due diligence process of reviews and finally sign-offs by our executives. And let's look at each area specifically to better understand what it entails. When submitting a request, the business requester will do so through email by submitting a short onboarding form. At this point, they may or may not need to have a vendor. If there's no vendor selected, vendor management will assist in going to market, doing market research, building a strategy for request for quote or request for price, leading negotiations, and helping outline the scope of work. If a vendor is selected, vendor management will assist the requester with the due diligence activities, which involve reviews by operations, compliance, finance, legal, and IT security, to arrive at a contract checklist with all the reviews completed and being able to execute the contract at that time. The contract checklist will have the following required 3 reviews, which could happen simultaneously at the same time, by operations, compliance, and finance. There may be additional IT security requirements to the security questionnaire, and finally, legal does the final review that will ensure the contract is ready for signature. Elon Musk, the CEO of 4 companies, said, "Constantly think how you could be doing things better and keep questioning yourself." So if you find that you have any questions or ways to improve our process or have onboarding or renewal requests, please email me at vendormanagement@company.com. Business transformation is coming. We're already in the midst of it. We want to make sure that company emerges successfully. Vendor management can help us do that. Thank you. Here's a list of my references. I would also like to add a disclaimer to please not share or distribute this presentation other than for marketing purposes. Opinions and information expressed in this presentation are my own and do not represent those of my company or employer. And this is a confidential presentation for the purposes of assignment 3 in GWI 505 class. Thank you very much.